Witch is the most confusing and complex special infected in Left 4 Dead 2. And let me tell you, that is not an easy title to attain. The game itself commonly tells you to bypass the Witch, but in most scenarios, you'll most likely be forced to face the Witch. And, just like facing your fears, you're more likely to fail than succeed. The Witch has two different modes, standing and sitting. These two different modes are oddly extremely distinct. When the Witch is lit on fire, it takes 15 seconds flat for the Witch to die from fire damage. Now, let me be very clear about this. Shooting the Witch while she's on fire does not contribute to how fast she's going to die from the fire. So, if you shoot the Witch while she's on fire, she will still die in 15 seconds. Does this mean you can't kill the Witch before the 15-second timer? Well, you can kill the Witch instantly after lighting her on fire, but it's kind of a waste of ammo unless you melee her to death, since she's going to die anyways from the fire itself. Assuming you use a gas can or a Molotov. When the standing Witch is on fire, it completely cancels her screaming animation. Bullets make the standing Witch scream in place, but fire doesn't. What hurts more? Bullet or fire? Rather, you want to use the standing up Witch's screaming animation to open up 3 opportunities for eliminating the Witch. Melee dodging trick, the classic crowning, and the co-op melee beatdown. Yeah! Melee dodging trick is the equivalent to dodging bullets in real life. It takes 4 melee strikes to kill a Witch on any difficulty. A player, if good enough, can manage to hit the standing Witch 3 times before she actually starts chasing. Then that allows the player to dodge the first swing from the Witch, allowing a tiny amount of wiggle room for the player to land a 4th and final melee hit. To say this is hard to perform is an understatement. Always remember, with high risk comes high reward, but high risk can also lead to... The chainsaw in theory should be extremely useful against witches, right? Well, against a standing Witch, yes. That startup animation on the standing Witch allows you to shred the standing Witch pretty easily with the chainsaw. Does this work on the sitting Witch though? Yeah, but it requires way more finesse and skill to pull it off. You have to get behind the Witch, chainsaw her, and then dodge the Witch's swing. The double melee beatdown is the safest way to kill a Witch. I mean, just look at it. You're beating a Witch's ass with your friend, but that's the problem. It requires a friend, something in short supply in modern day. Crowning is only possible in very specific scenarios. Number 1, you have to be good enough to actually crown the Witch. Number 2, there needs to be no commons or specials around to mess up your shot. Number 3, you have to have an auto or a pump shotgun. Number 4, they happen to be playing anything other than expert realism. Number 5, the bots don't instantly trigger the Witch. Number 6, you're not playing a versus. In versus, the Witch is a huge advantage to the special infected team. This is because of the Witch's 3 stages of aggravation: calm, startled, and about to pounce. The special infected players can scratch the Witch to her about to pounce stage. That way, if a survivor gets anywhere near the Witch, she instantly gets triggered. Remember that Left 4 Dead trailer where Lewis triggers the Witch with a flashlight? Well, take it to heart in versus, because if the Witch is already fully aggravated and you flash her, then she's going to get triggered. Forget about it if it's a boomer triggering the Witch's aggravation. If you were to shoot the boomer while he's near the Witch, then the explosion will trigger the Witch onto whoever shot the boomer. The boomer scratching a Witch is one hell of a combo to behold. The Witch can also friendly fire in versus. As confusing as that sounds, it just goes to show how unpredictable the Witch's AI is. Versus players scratching the Witch almost completely counters crowning. But crowning is an art. Some people do it instantly, some people shoot the hip, some people go for the head, but some crack players crown the Witch after she's triggered, crowning the Witch as she's running towards them. Crowning with a pump shotgun leaves little to no room for mistake. The key to crowning is to get all the shotgun pellets to sink into the Witch. Not one pellet can miss, or else you're dead. I've seen people sneak in 2 shots by luck, but trust me, it's really unlikely that you'll survive if you don't land that first shot perfectly. Auto shotguns make crowning Witches a walk in the park. You'd make a fool of yourself if you somehow messed up a crown with an auto shotgun. Now that I think about it, why is it even called crowning? How does blowing someone's head off with a shotgun have anything to do with crowning? Do you mean crowning a queen, like the Google definition of crowning? That doesn't even make sense because some people don't even aim for the head. So that I thought the joke was that, you know, crowning, you're crowning someone with bullets to the head. Anyways, never mind. Crowning is the go-to way to deal with witches in a lot of situations, yet it's completely impossible to perform on expert realism. Isn't it ironic that the mode called realism increases the witch's health to the point where she can muscle through 10 shotgun shells to the skull? So how do you deal with the standing witch alone in expert realism? You don't. The Sitting Witch is a clown fiesta. It's extremely hard to crown the Sitting Witch, so I usually resort to lighting her on fire. For some reason, the Sitting Witch is way slower than the Standing Witch when being set on fire. Why, you may ask? I have absolutely no clue, no theory, no joke, nothing to cope with this fact. To me, asking why the Standing Up Witch is faster than the Sitting Witch is up there with asking what's the meaning of life. It's pointless! The Sitting Witch can be shoved. Players can trigger the witch's stumbling animation multiple ways. A pipe bomb explosion, explosive round shots, a deagle headshot, and a headshot from a tactical rifle. Once she stumbles around, she can be shoved like any normal common. On console, if you throw a pipe bomb right underneath a Sitting Witch, she pops out of existence.
What do you think?
Oh, that's too far away. Crap. Oh, it worked.
Damn, Left 4 Dead 2 on console. Honestly, what did you expect? Anything that I just said about the Sitting Witch does not apply to the Standing Witch. I didn't know this for the longest time. I thought that the Standing Witch and the Sitting Witch were the same. Call me stupid all you want. Standing or sitting does not give enough information to the player to distinguish these extremely vital characteristics. Any normal player would just say, well, one wanders around and the other one stays put. But no, it's never that straightforward. I'm about to blow your mind. Did you know that the Sitting Witch only appears during the night while the Standing Up Witch only appears during the day? For over 1,000 hours, this just flew over my head. I didn't know this. The witch aggro is confusing. The deal is whoever shoots her is the one the witch attacks. At this point, you should know that it's not that simple. The witch attacks whoever shot her last, not whoever shot her first. So if you shoot the witch first and then your friend shoots the witch second, then the witch will go after your friend. The witch can change targets even after she's been triggered. If you throw a bile jar or a Molotov at her while she's chasing someone, she'll do the 180 and pound you instead. Or the witch can suddenly change targets if you stay in her way long enough. Don't get this confused with blocking the witch's way. Blocking and getting in her way are completely different. The witch sporadically swipes at whoever blocks her from her target. She can miss or land these swings. It's completely randomized. Sometimes it could look like the witch could have killed you and doesn't, and sometimes it looks like the witch shouldn't have killed you and does. There are points where the witch will completely change aggro onto whoever stays too close for her for too long. Then there are times where you are in the witch's way, but she doesn't attack you. She'll stun lock you into a stumbling animation. You can stall the witch's insta-kill. On expert, the witch just straight up kills you. If your friend triggers the witch, you can down your friend and the witch won't kill him instantly. She'll do an entire animation and then kill your friend, stalling a few seconds. Doesn't sound like much, but those 2 seconds to determine whether you can save your friend's life or not. The Witch is a living example of why Left 4 Dead 2 is a perfect game for both veterans and casual players. The Witch is a simple concept to grasp. In the eyes of a casual player, they'll just avoid her. To a veteran player, there are a million calculations going through their brain to how to approach the situation. The Witch is more than what meets the eyes, gentlemen. Remember that.